What we have here, guys, is question 8. Now, it wants us to calculate the nearest degree, the angle A. Now, if you were to measure this, now you're not asked to measure it, you're asked to calculate it. But if we were to, just for argument's sake, we're going to measure it, okay? So, you know that your answer is around here. And you can see that the answer is roughly between 30 and 32 degrees. Do you see that? 2 above the 150 mark. Do you see the 150 mark? See the way it's 2 full lines above the 150? That same thing as 2 full marks above the 30. It's 32 degrees. Now, let's show, we're going to get an answer similar to 30 degrees without actually measuring it. So let me show you how we're going to do that. First of all, you do what you always do. You write down the 3 sides. Hypotenuse, this one here. Opposite. Adjacent. Now, what you do is, the opposite is 3 and the adjacent is the opposite is 3 and the adjacent is 5. You write down your rhyme, okay? So, ka, toa. Okay? Now here's what you do. When you write down so, ka, toa, guys, you choose which 2 you have. You want to use O and A. O and A is which one? Toa. Tan A is, anybody? Tan A? 3 over 5. Now, to find out what angle this is, guys, here's what you do. You press what's called a tan inverse button. You press tan inverse 3 over 5. So you go to your calculator, and above the tan button, see the tan button? See in yellow writing? If you want to access yellow writing, you press shift. Then you press 3 over 5. And what do we get? Sorry, I meant 1 second. Make sure you're in degree. Shift, setup, shift, setup, degrees. Go again. Shift, tan inverse, 3 divided by 5. 30, roughly 31 degrees. Remember we said it's 32 degrees earlier? It's 31 degrees when we calculate it. What you say, Ryan? No, does your setting say D on top? Does everybody's setting say D? If your setting says D, you're safe. If it doesn't say D, you press shift, setup, and you press number 3 for degrees. Now, let's try another one. So this angle here, angle A, is 31 degrees. Okay. Try another one out, guys. Angle C. What 2 sides do you know on angle C? 11 is the hypotenuse, is the longest. The opposite would be this one here. And the adjacent. Which 2 numbers do you know? 11 and 9. Okay. You know adjacent and hypotenuse. Which one is A and H? No. Cos. Cos, what's the angle? Cos C is adjacent hypotenuse, which is 9 over. Angle C on its own is cos inverse 9 over 11. Check it out. Thirty-five degrees. You round it off. So, if I was to measure that using the if I was to measure that using this, what does it turn out to be? I'm measuring it roughly as 36, but I'm slightly off. 35 is more accurate. Yeah. No, 0.9, not 0.9. 0.9. It's like 9 cent. It's close to 35 euro 9 cent. Is closer to 35 euro. 35 euro 90 cent is closer to 36 euro. It was 0.9, so that's not the case. Now, look at these ones, guys. Angle D. For angle D, what is this side and what is this side? Adjacent is 2. So we're using adjacent and hypotenuse. If we're using adjacent and hypotenuse, which one are we using? So is opposite and hypotenuse. Oh, cos. Sorry, cos. So, cos what, guys? Cos, what angle are we using? D. Cos D equals what? Adjacent over hypotenuse. What button finds out what D is? Cos 2 over 5, which is 66 degrees. Everybody happy enough with that? Okay, pick another one. Number 6 as an example. What two sides do we know? What the eye looks at is the opposite. The longest side is the hypotenuse. What's the rhyme? So, ka, toa. So we're using O and H, which means we're using sin what? Sin F equals what? 10. Sine inverse 7 over 10. And what you get? 44.4, and you round it down to 44. Okay.